Hi everybody, it's Christina here for Craft Stash. This is the little die that I'm going to use today, and this is from Craft Stash. It's an apple blossom die, and this is the Ornate Border 1. So this is the little die, the little border die, and once it's been cut, this is the pattern that you will get. Now you can use these to highlight your images, your characters or your sentiments. But I'm sure you'll agree that if all you're going to do is cut that out of a piece of card, you'll have an awful lot of card wasted. So I'm going to show you how you can utilise what would be the waste from the die as well as the actual border. So I'm going to use my cutting mat just to give me some straight lines, because I can use the grid lines on that to rule the line. So I'm taking a straight line across the top of the card, and then I'm going to mark it off every 2 centimetres. Do it very lightly, and these pencil marks will rub out when you've finished. So I'm going to come a bit further down the card, and I'm going to rule it again and mark again every 2 centimetres. So with the card all marked up, I'm going to place the die level on the line and on the 2 centimetre marks that I've created, and I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine. And then once it's been cut, I'm going to move it along to the next 2 centimetre mark and run it through again, so that I'm creating this pattern in the card. So that's all you're doing, is just moving it along, keeping it level and die cutting it again. Keep all these pieces because they can be used on another card. Now once you've got all those pieces cut into that card, you can then remove your pencil marks very carefully. And then the next thing I've done is I have embossed it. I've put it in an embossing folder and I've run it through my die cutting machine. So I've got this nice pretty patterned paper now ready for my cards. Now this is my base card, and from that I've created a smaller panel for the top. It just leaves a small border around all the edges. This is the panel that I've just die cut and embossed, and I'm going to line that up so that it's along that panel, and then when it's fastened to the panel, I'm going to trim it off. So let's put the right side facing down, and then with some foam pads I'm going to put foam pads along the back of this panel. I want to raise it up slightly from the middle layer. So I've got my foam pads on the back. I'm going to add it to this panel so that it's just slightly raised from the panel, and once they're stuck down I'm going to trim this from the back. So once this has been trimmed, there may be some loose little panels on it, so all you need to do is just pop a little foam pad underneath and fasten those down. And then with some white ribbon I'm going to weave it through these pieces. Where there are no foam pads, I'm going to weave it through the pieces. So with the ribbon woven through, I'm just going to glue it on the back so that it doesn't move. And I'm going to add in a little bow just along there. And then in the centre of the bow we'll just add in a little embellishment just to cover that knot. There we go. And that now is ready to be added to my base card, just along there. So I've stamped and embossed a sentiment, and I've just tucked it under one of these strips. There's a little foam pad there holding the other side down, and I'm just going to cover that with a pearl. And then with some smaller pearls I'm going to dot these onto all the twirly bits that are on that pattern. So there you've got a pretty card using the waste product from the die. This is using the actual die cut itself. But another thing you can do is once you've cut these panels out, or die cut the panels, you can cut them up nice and neatly, and then you can use the two together, as I've done on this card. So I've used the flat edge along the bottom, and I've used the other pieces along there, and I've put these in between. So that's just another way, that's using both parts to the card, the border and the waist, and creating yet another look with this tiny little die, which is really, really pretty. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to visit the website craftsstash.co.uk. Bye for now.